that can
that global control
kind of push out lanes and then be recalled in. Yeah, global control is always good. Like Storm Spirits, I mean, not even Storm Spirits, like carries that want to like farm a lane, but then come to the fight at the last possible second.
DC's turn
so they want
to
some
bat.
kind of physical damage, like TA type hero normally is what I think when I see Slada.
You got to be worried about TA, Lifestealer,
Lifestealer.
the classic.
Not sure. Lifestealer with Cuddle seems a bit weird. Not a big fan of those two heroes.
Yeah,
like,
not really much synergy there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, PA, absolutely understandable. That
Chakra Rage is actually, I mean, I guess in theory, Chakra Rage gives you double Rage as a Lifestealer in pretty quick succession.
That's true. I mean, it could be something that looks because they'll definitely want something, obviously. And yeah, WG they did their homework. They saw that earlier. That's something that DC like to do. Jug Magnus, and they'll take it away from us, unfortunately, because it's always fun to watch a Magnus game. So a little bit of me inside is like, damn it, I want to see some Mag plays, but we're not going to get that this game, and it's understandable as well. Of course, very strong. Jug Magnus is the reason why. There's kind of a period as well in the past where a lot of teams were doing it.
That was the Navi Classic.
Yeah.
They'd go to the,
a lot of the CIS
Magnus all the time when they wanted to bust out a win.
Out
gets pretty good with the Cuddle. Cuddle can just sit in the jungle, stack a bunch. Out gets fast Radiance, pushes lanes, gets recalled to fights. Just kind of carry I like to. I'd prefer to see with the Keeper of the Light in general. But yeah, it doesn't have to be. You can do a Lifesteal Slider, but then you want your mid hero to be something that's off farming that gets recalled into the fights later on. Or like the Storm Spirit type hero. Something that can also benefit from the Chakra Magic a bit.
DC's turn to pick.
See how reactive they're going to be to what DC look to pick. Because DC, they're very open with their draft. They have last overall pick of the draft, so likely they'll save that pick for Weeha, so he can kind of counter pick the enemy mid laner / make sure he has a hero that fits the game and fits against the draft of WG Unity. I say that, watch them just pick his hero right now, but I imagine most likely that's normally what you want to do when you have overall last pick.
Yeah, we'll see.
Reserve time.
Because we obviously did see last time, like the Invoker was banned out because they did leave it the last pick Weeha's hero. So
yeah,
you've got to be ready for potentially that plan that you've got being changed up.
Yeah, if there's one hero you really want from his hero pool, then you want to pick it probably like third or fourth. But they should last game they can bust out a Wind Ranger and not really care too much. So if his Invoker gets banned, and the other hero options are a bit more limited.
Do you think we could potentially see Moon go for the Sand King again this game?
Yeah, it's alright this game. No reason not to. It's just stable standard initiator. Slada, I mean, you got an amp for the Sandstorm, but that doesn't really matter. The standard Sand King build doesn't really involve much Sandstorm these days. Mana Leak's a little bit annoying if you're offlane versus a couple of heroes, but it's not the end of the world. So it's a possibility. It doesn't benefit much from the Bloodlust, which is where often you'll see like offlane Voids because they can have a lot of kill potential with Bloodlust later on.
5 seconds remaining.
Void Jug's okay, not amazing by any means. And it does give them like maybe 3 cores that will need farm. I don't think that's how they want to play with Moon Meander so much. He's normally looking to gank and fight a bit more, but we'll see if that's going to be the case or not.
We'll see if WG want to pick up that core that really is going to synergy with Slada, because there's still a ban available from DC. And as I said, like Lifestealer is something that a lot of teams see as very strong with the Slada combination, but already, I mean, the Juggernaut, that's a hero you've got to worry a little bit about if you're a Lifestealer. He can kind of man up against you. They'll go for the Weaver, something a little bit more slippery.
Benefit from the minus armor. That's I mean, we kind of talked about like the TAs, the SFs, the Lifestealers, similar kind of hero where you add more minus armor and you have physical damage to benefit from all the minus armor. But yeah, slippery. There's the lift. I mean, fire ogres nowadays aren't really about the fire blast so much, so the stun there is not as menacing.
5 seconds
but it is obviously, you see, if you're a Rubik, the Rubik player for DC, if you're Saxa,
you'll love
you see this, and you're like, sweet, I get a free Shikuchi.
Yeah, this is. I guess it works both ways. Well, no, I should say it's hard for the Weaver because Rubik, he's got the catch, and as you said, once he starts to steal the spells, he's going to be having a great time weaving around.
You can go on the Rubik if you like Shikuchi in and then immediately swarm when you come out, so he can't steal the Shikuchi, and then you get that second Shikuchi to chase a bit further. But that's ifs and buts. And there we go. DC get the catcher. There's Moon Meander's hero. They make sure they get some disable, a hero that can catch and deal with a likely safe lane farming Weaver, so they want to make sure that Moon's hero, not necessarily a hard counter Weaver, if WGU have a good start, Weaver can do just fine against Nyx, but
10 seconds
they've
remaining.
got the tools to catch a Weaver. So it's not like, hey, we're winning the game, but this Weaver's impossible to kill, we've
5
got problems. It's like, all right, we're
remaining.
winning the game, this Weaver can't fight us. That's kind of what the Nyx Assassin pick does here. Since you can carapace if
Reserve
Weaver
time.
tries to Shikuchi in, you set up for the Impale, it's very easy to kill and lock down the Weaver.
I mean, I guess the question is as well if there's a chance that WGU could play, I mean, even the Weaver or the Slardar in that support roaming position, as they could, as it's a game one, their draft was looking pretty VP-esque, and again
Plus
here.
Drought Ranger here as your fourth pick.
I mean, it's still there, and it's very, very strong with the Weaver, but it is just a question if they want to go down that route, or if they are just going to play their own game and have that Weaver as the more standard core role.
Drow's a good hero from what I'm seeing as far as matching up against the DC draft. Kind of catch DC off guard a little bit, but
Doesn't do a huge amount with the Keep of the Light, though, does it?
no, not really. The Weaver as a core kind of does, because I think
Yeah.
Weaver can kind of push up the lanes a bit
definitely.
more and be very elusive, and then the other 3 or 4 heroes go looking for a fight, you pull on the Weaver. Drow, if you're doing that with the Drow gets ganked and dies.
Okay, and there we have it. It's going to be the
DC's
Spirit coming
turn
out,
to
so...
bat.
They had some great Earth Spirit plays early today from when I was watching some of their games against Wings.
Yeah, was it game one, I want to say, the Spirit
Yeah, it
play
might have
come
been
out?
game 1. They lost that game, but it was still like...
Yeah.
You could see the...
It was a
I
good
didn't-
series.
Yeah, game 1 I was actually one of the... That was the
10
Tinker game
seconds
where
remaining.
they should have... I want to say they should have won that game at least once it got to the
Oh,
late game.
yeah, that was right.
They
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was the
panicked
60-minute
and
one.
choked a
Yeah.
bit. I mean, maybe choke's the wrong word, but they had the better draft. Wings just outplayed them in the
Reserve
late
time.
game. And just, yeah, it felt like the pressure got to them a bit. But it was really impressive to see them bounce back from a game they should have won and then still win the series. Since a lot of team would have been like, man, we should have beat Wings, but we didn't. And they were like, we should have beat Wings, let's go do it. Game 2, game 3. So we'll see another Spirit.
So it's definitely looking like WG Unity still need their mid hero, and same
Yep.
certainly to be said for DC.
Yeah, that's what
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, do you think we
10
could see an opening
seconds
for DC to go for something like the Weeheart OD in this game? I mean, Nixus has been picked up. That obviously puts WG Unity off picking it themselves.
Dire
there's
team
So you're kind of
OD,
protecting the pick.
Invokers, I mean, the mid options are very versatile right now. You want something that can perhaps benefit from the Bloodlust a bit, which would be the
Bloodlusted
OD.
OD is
Absolutely.
pretty terrifying.
And we'll see what
10
WGU have to pick
seconds
first, so they
remaining.
don't want to pick something that can be too hard counted
Yeah.
necessarily. But
5
see what
seconds remaining.
it's tough because you don't really want to go for one of those heroes like OD or
But that's the
Invoker
thing, because
yourself
of that
when you're
next
against
pick. I think
Nyx,
that
yeah.
next pick could be what's really smart from DC here. Just
It
know,
blocks so
controlling
many
that
heroes.
final mid selection.
That's why they banned DK.
It's really
'cause they're
nice.
Like, DK's not a hero you're likely scared of. If anything, you see the DK and you're like, well, DK, we can send OD can kind of crush a DK mid. And Invoker
10
does alright
seconds
versus DK
remaining.
mid. You can Storm versus DK. There's lots of heroes you can run versus DK, but they ban it out because
5 seconds
even if the
remaining.
DK's lane doesn't go amazingly well,
Yeah.
his mid game is good. He's
Dire
not
team
he's not
pick.
scared of a Nyx Assassin, whereas an Invoker or an OD kind of pick, those heroes do struggle against the Nyx Assassin.
They're going to pick up the Invoker ban, and here we have it.
I mean, there's also some teams who'll play the Weaver mid, but that to me seems less likely.
10 seconds
I
remaining.
don't know, seen crazier things. That's out the Drow last pick. I
5
don't know.
seconds.
Do a win range
remaining.
themselves, you know what I mean? You've got a slide,
Yeah.
you've got the minus armor. We're talking
Yeah,
about
so-
minus armor, it's a bristle, and that,
DC
in terms of
turn to
lanes,
pick.
would you expect them to put that in the mid and then have Weaver safe, Slardar off?
Flexible. I would say Bristle and Weaver could be flexible.
Okay.
Either safe. Those are the safe lane and mid heroes. I want to say. But again, yeah, Slardar could be safe lane. You could do
seconds
Bristle. I
remaining.
mean, all 3 of their cores play all 3 core roles. Can play
5
safe.
seconds
Oh, Slardar
remaining.
doesn't.
They've got the
but
versatility for sure, yeah.
Bristle goes all 3 lanes. Weaver goes all 3 lanes. I'd say.
5 seconds
To me, maybe
remaining.
Bristle's the most likely mid candidate. Okay, so
And they-
Jug mid. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, we're talking about DC picking a Weehaw here. They've already got Jug. That's always can be,
Yeah, you can do it both ways, right?
of course, a mid hero. That goes without saying.
And this is looking very interesting. Nana will be
He's-
playing,
Yeah, normally safe lane.
the safe lane Bristleback unless they want to switch roles
you've-
around as well.
The nice thing, so you've got Earth Spirit, and I think the thing on your mind is we've got this Earth Spirit. Let's pick up a hero with let's put the hero mid with a bit more kill potential, which is perhaps the Weaver. So if you roll in, you've got Shikuchi, you've got Swarm, and you can go for kills a bit better than a Bristleback. So I want to say it's going to be a Weaver mid with Slardar.
But is
off
mid
lane.
Weaver? That is just. I don't think I've seen a game recently
It's-
at all where a team has wanted to run Weaver in the mid lane.
It's not amazing. It's terrible. It's kind of like the same idea of running Jug mid. Like
10
Jug's
seconds
typically
remaining.
in the safe lane, but he doesn't need a huge amount of farm. You can put him
5
mid, give him a bit
seconds
more
remaining.
levels, and then have him roam around a bit. Jug a bit. I'd say Jug obviously fits mid a bit better because he pushes out the lane with one Blade Fury, and then he can grab runes and rotate. Whereas Weaver, you can Chikuchi to runes and get them fast, but you don't spam out the lane
Prepare for
quite
battle.
as well as the Juggernaut does. So it's definitely not a standard mid hero. If indeed it is going mid, it looks like it's going to be Nana. So they're going to swap up the roles a bit and put Nana mid on the Bristle, Weaver the safe lane. So Ajit and Nana. They've always had this kind of flexibility between these two players, sometimes mid, sometimes carry.
Kangaroo could be in trouble here. DC, they saw him come down, they got the ward out, and they saw the movements. They got the telekinesis into the initial stun. So they've got the damage to bring him down. He's going to try and come through, but Weeha ready and waiting. Surprise, he says, as he's there with the Blade Fury and first blood to DC's mid. That's a great way for the Jug to start. And of course, with 40 seconds left to go, he'll have the Blade Fury back up for that defense, and almost certainly going to get the bounty rune as well here, DC, for the Jug.
30 seconds to
Nifty.
battle.
They may get the D ward as well. I haven't seen no sentry ward being placed just yet. No, they missed the first one. So first Radiant Sentry missed. Doesn't look like they're going to plant a second one just yet. But either way, DC with the first blood on the mid lane is big. So he gets out, Magic Stick, Salve.
Oh, yeah, the stick could get that's perfect for Wee. And yeah, should have no trouble at all, indeed, in picking up this
The
rune
battle
as well.
begins.
But as you said, the lanes to watch here from WG.
I'll take that as tribute.
Mid lane Bristle, and indeed, as you said, the safe lane Weaver. So switching up the roles that we saw in terms of what they played in game one, trying something a little bit different. And then so this mid lane matchup, Juggernaut versus Bristleback. How's it going to go, do you think?
I mean, probably better for the Jug now. He's got a stick. He's got a first blood advantage. Good old selfless Wee, only taking one tango from his support. A nice guy. But yeah, this should be a matchup which he does just fine him with the stick. But Bristle, of course, is a hero that kind of gets scary once he has that level 5 to 7 stage, gets an item like a Treads or an early Vanguard. You're not looking to win your lane as a Bristle in these 1v1 games. You're just looking to get solo XP and the fast kind of core item on yourself.
Top lane as well, Moon. Getting aggressive here onto the supports of WG and X-Nova. Takes a fair bit of a punch from this Nyx.
There's nothing Color can do to his own Nyx with Stout, Tango, Salve, and Mango. This Nyx is more than alright here. And he's got the TP scroll, so if they really dive him hard and commit a ton of spells and whatnot, he can just keep going.
Get down bottom. Trying to make a bit of a movement there. Crusher and Kangaroo holding Misery back, but they're actually not interested in the Slardar. They're seeing if they can get the ES. Saxet not wanting to commit for a grab there. They're just keeping the space for Resolution to find the farm on this bottom lane.
And the really nice thing about the lane step is DC don't even have to camp Ogre mid. The Jug does just fine 1v1. I mean, CS-wise, he's slightly behind right now, but I think we're going to see him do just fine. He's got all the stick charges in the world. He can play through debt to farm. That Ogre's actually going to help out bottom. He wants to secure the safe lane because Morph's like the key hero when you look at their draft and how they want to win. It's going to be with a farm Morph.
Yeah, lanes at the moment certainly looking to be going in the favour of DC. Moon already just messing around with the pull. As we said, Nova trying to do his best to harass him, but really very little he can do with this before he gets the levels. You know, once he gets maybe the mana leak and such, he can try, but then he's got to worry about the spike character. And Moon can expect him to play around that. Do absolutely a-okay.
Mid lane's gone surprisingly well for Nana, like just being able to quill spray through the Blade Fury. Like you can't Blade Fury if you get often you get like half HP or down to a third HP. You just Blade Fury and then run away as it's about to end. But the quill spray is being physical, go through it. So Nana's had a boots bottle already.
Yep.
Really doing quite alright just by spamming quills. He doesn't care about giving Wee the stick charges, but now it's a 1, so now it's not 10 charges, you get up to 17.
On the bottom lane as well, Saxon. A little bit of spot of Arthur and Kangaroo trying to move in. The backup is there from Resolution and Misery, but then they've actually managed to turn it around here. They've taken not just one, but both of the heroes down.
Yikes.
As Saxon walks it off.
Once you roll in, you're fully committed. Mid lane, Nana with this 15 HP solo kill. Brings down the Jug. That's... Nana's probably just like, alright team, stop feeding bottom lane. I've got this. I'm winning
Perfectly
mid.
calculated,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And Earthspirit's going to TP in, refill his bottle. Nicely played. Nana's going to be back up ready and fighting shape soon enough. And yeah, he's actually straight winning mid. I didn't really know what to expect with this Jug versus Bristle. I thought Jug would be fine in the just straight farm, but it seems like a Bristle is actually just going to...
I mean, maybe that's the thing as well. Maybe Weehard didn't know what to expect mid. He's probably not used to playing up against the Bristle in the mid lane.
In my mind, I'm thinking Jug, Agi, Hero, pretty good base armor, pretty good out. Like 6 armor in general should be pretty good at negating quill damage, but I mean, it was quite some patches ago where the damage block from Pullman Shield doesn't block stuff like Quill Spray anymore, so yeah, it seems like the Quill stack, the nice thing about mid lane is you're always going to be able to stack lots of Quills because you don't want to run away like far from, like, the lanes are so close to each other, the 2 towers, that it's easy to get high stacks up, and that's where we is getting kind of bullied here.
Down bottom, Saxa, he's only just gone on Cliff Kangaroo. So Kangaroo.
Things getting even rougher.
Yeah.
In the bottom lane at least. The mid lane's going fine. The top lane, yeah, it's going all right. Like Ajit's
he's
farming.
Saxa's got a DD as well now. So he doesn't have he popped the Sentry Ward down for that initial bit of vision you get when you first plant it, but they haven't got anything to see Kangaroo further.
Bloodlusted Rubik with DD. Oh, it's your worst nightmare.
It's
just pulling up. What is this?
They're sending TPs down. They're like, guys, we got a Rubik here with DD and Bloodlust.
Oh, it was Kane getting off the cliff, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's back. He pulled in. Not the Bloodlust.
The DD is still there.
No.
Oh, it's all too much here for WG. They're only going to lose both of the heroes. It's another 2 kills for Rezo. DD, Saxa just loving his life here at the moment on the bottom lane.
Yeah, this lane doesn't get much worse. Maybe you lose your tower, it does get worse.
But mid lane, as you said, is fine for Nana. Top lane as well in terms of farm. What we're looking at, Arjit, he's doing all right in the CS. He's not quite where Resolution is, but it's still good news. But I guess obviously the real trade-off is the fact that Moon, he's doing fine on his off lane, whereas the off lane for WG is where it's all falling apart really at the moment.
And you can the CS is actually, well, mid's gone fine for Wii. Other than the death, he was pretty much even on CS. It's a kind of lane where you just trade farm. And we'll see Wii hit level 6 soon. Not that he's going to have kill potential with his Omni Slash too much without a friend, because level 6 Bristle has a 1000 HP with the treads, so just cost-effective hit point. Nana wants to make sure we can't really kill him off with an Omni Slash. He actually didn't level Omni Slash. Oh, he's saving it. Yeah, we can.
He's got it. He could be in trouble. He's not. He's got 12-1 charges. Yeah, he's fine.
Back up.
Spray stacking up.
Not going to even go for the lift. You pull him in, you're basically pulling him in to get more quill stacks, and the damage was not going to be there from an Omni Slash, I believe. What
kind of build do you think we're going to see from the mid Bristol? Are we going to see those kind of auras, or is he going to go for more of a right-click kind of
I want to say he almost needs to play a bit more DPSing, but probably wants the Vanguard on the way. Vanguard into SMY. Nice stun.
Catching him out mid-roll there. He's going to go for the TP, but it isn't going to happen. Saxa with the telekinesis, the zap to the back. As DC and yet another kill down towards this bottom half of the map, where again it's this sort of side lane that we saw WG Unity falter in the early game in game 1, and it seems to be happening again here in game 2.
Yeah, this bottom lane has been disaster. One of those things where you're like, in hindsight, you should have just jungled the Slider, give him an Iron Talon, and he could be level 5 right now. You've lost your tower anyway, so he could have just been straight up jungling, and this lane would be going much better. But they wanted to contest the lane, but the big decision from DC was leaving the Ogre there. They had the Ogre there to make sure the bottom lane was won, and once you see that Ogre there, WG just didn't have the ability to contest. Earth Spirit's still just level 2, Slada level 4 only, doesn't even have boots. This is an absolutely terrible start for the bottom lane. See what Nana can do. He's going to have to be one of those players that kind of gets involved.
And we're going to see him get a good kind of leg up as well, because the Ancients have started to be stacked. I imagine you are giving that to the Bristle. He's the only one that really can clear him, of course, this side.
Yep.
So then it is just going to be, well, a question what he does. As you said, what Vanguard first.
And that's experience more than anything. Like, the farm is really nice for Bristle and all, but that's a hero that can get all the farm in the world, but get ignored because you don't have the best chase.
And look at this up top. They want to try and get Arjit. They need to get a setup stun, though. Saxa and Misery are there. Misery's going to be... He might still be in the night vision, in fact, and it looks like it doesn't matter. Moon able to close the gap. They've got not quite enough chain stuns, though, as Arjit's able to survive with the time lapse, and now they're just going to turn a fight into DC. The Crusher and Kangaroo coming out onto Moon, and they'll end up punishing the Nyx Assassin. And they may even get more as Arfu rolls across the block up. Saxa has the stun. They'll turn around with a Fate Bolt, but they're ready to dive in deep as Arjit closes in onto the Ruby. Just needs to get the right... He doesn't even need the right click. The blast comes through from X-Nova, and WG Unity able to turn around that play very, very nicely. As just it wasn't quite enough to bring down Arjit there with that control.
That's one of those plays where it's just miscalculation. DC thought they had the damage. They did the math in their head as a 3-man unit between Saxka, Misery, and Moon. No one said, hey, we don't have enough damage. Probably at least one or two of them would have said, we can get this kill. And all you need was one of those 3 players to say, all right, we don't have the damage, let's not do it. And I guess the call from Misery, the captain, said we can. Or whoever said we can, they did. They chain-stunned it pretty well. The lift perhaps slightly overlapped with the Fire Blast, but it didn't even really look like that was the problem. The Weaver just too tanky.
Mid lane, we are getting a bit of space as Nana headed out to around the lanes. They went down towards the bottom. Yep. And one more stack of the Ancients is what he's going to go for.
He's gone back for a Cloak, so just casual with booster.
Okay.
Cloak doesn't strike me as like any kind of amazing item as far as there being a ton of magic damage, but there is some.
I guess it's going to be good once the morph starts to get that new build online with the E-Blade. But that's obviously still a fair while away.
He's just so confident here in the front lines. Like a healing ward, I got my 17 charges. Rezo free farming. This is very similar to game 1. It's the Rezo playing the hard carry, winning the early game when you're playing kind of 5v4 Dota. It's on a Naga, it's a Morphling, but it's the same kind of idea. It's a hero that will not split push you to death, but will hit this item timing where you can't really fight. And I say item timing, he's not going to go for early game. He picks up a Tread's Dragonlance, not going for the fast Lincolns, not going for the E-Blade. Wants to perhaps fight around his team a bit now. Doesn't have the best sustain as far as having any HP regen without the Perseverance, but we'll see how he does.
He's going to walk into a Bristol Bang. Actually had the ult, so Nana could look to try and chase this one down. But he's a little scared. It's very hard to kill to go for on his own, that Morphling. He'll back away, but 10 minutes in, as we can see, Rezo at the top of the board, but still, Nana and Arjit in good places.
Moon, after dying at top, had his Arcane Boot slowed down, which it's kind of hard to make lots of rotations as a Nyx without them because your mana pool is pretty bad. So it looks like he's going to finish his Arcanes and then probably make some moves with his team. Kind of be the Sand King type role the last game. I mean, it really is the same DC style from last game. They've got a mid hero that's elusive, hard to gank, hard to kill. Moon playing the offlane initiator, and then Rezo just quietly farming away, waiting to get online.
I don't think he uses it. Saxon has this invis. Looking at Arjit, he needs more of his members up in the neighborhood, and they
brought in Morphling for this one. He TP'd up top, but
yeah, it looks like they're just going to go for the objective, get the tower instead of kills at this stage. Mid lane Weehar is on his own, as Arjit will look to play around with him. And we'll see how much he can actually do here. Weehar has got 17 one charges, so he should be fine whatever the situation does end up going to, and yeah, he's okay. There's no way that Arjit can look to try and get anything out of that more than just tickling the jug.
On the prowl now. He wanted to contest the Ancient stats here. Bristol was very low, in fact, but he gets there a bit late, not going to be able to stop it, and can't really solo kill too many of these heroes.
They could maybe go for the Earth Spirit. Now that's one they could probably do. Brings him down low. One more touch is going to be needed. Weehar comes in straight away with the Blade Fury to finish off the kill.
They had a die one too. They saw the Nyx coming in.
That's a nice wrap around. In fact, Weehar actually with a quick Omni Slash dodges the Slithering Crush. And he's actually going to be able to walk his way out of this one with the Salve at the ready as well. I mean, Arjit's trying to chase. Look at the blast through. Arjit, can he actually get away with anything? He kills the Amplify and Weehar doing a lot, but he's not going to die for it. And we keep it. That was a very, very sweet Omni Slash.
Yeah. They had a split second where the Sentry saw the Nyx before he engaged, but Moon was faster. He saw one hero. He's like, oh, I'm impaling. And that was before the Earth Spirit could even react to the fact he had vision of Nyx with that Sentry. DC come out on top. Meanwhile, Rezo took the tier 1 top. He's continuing to farm. He's farming some Ancients now. He's got all the tools he needs. He is going to go back for a Yasha, it looks like. So going for just whatever kind of early game items. He wants to be able to push towers and really offer a legitimate right-clicking threat to WGU here in the early.
The attempt on Roshan here from WG. They've got good wall control around the pit. DC, in terms of them being able to contest it, it's probably quite unlikely because the speed that it goes down with this amount of minus armor that WG are boasting.
Moon's nearby.
I think they have to be careful. Sentries are out around the mouth of the pit. So
I know what's going on, but they're going to be too late.
This is a nice little hit here for WG as Nana takes the Aegis. And Moon coming in, see if he can scout out any stragglers at the side. None actually heading straight away onto the side of the map of DC, seeing what he finds. He's only going to find a replicate.
Kind of too late. DC were making a move to go in, but the second they saw the message pop up, Aegis claim, they said, nope, we're done. What's the point? You're fighting in, you're a bit lacking vision in the area, you know your opponents are going to have a sentry there for the Nyx. Don't take the fight.
Lining up Weehaw. Going to look to chase him down. Alfie rolls across. Blade Fury now gone with a stun into a crush. And with this amplify, we are just melting to the physical damage of WG.
Good play from Arthur. Just rolls onto the Blade Fury, says, I just need to be in position to stun him when this Blade Fury ends. And gets it off, sets up for his team.
It's certainly looking a little better in terms of the fights for WG, but as you mentioned, it's this similar issue as the Naga as was in Game 1. Resolution's playstyle, and the hero that he's on it's scary if you let it get this far.
It's one of those things where it's less scary when he's not going for that Lincoln's E-Blade timing, though. Like, you see him go for these fighting items, you're like, well, he wants to be relevant now, but he's not feeling all that relevant. He's 2-0-3, but those were, what, 4 of those 5, I want to say, were from the laning stage as far as his involvement goes, so... you're not looking at the Morph and thinking, oh, he's going to get the mad style and then we're going to be in trouble. It's not an item that... It's a decent item, but it's not like a game-changing item like the E-Blade pickup.
Lane trying to jump in. Arfu's going to get an Omni Slash to the face there as he attempts some sort of a roll-in, but quick reaction from DC as it cut down onto the Spirit. A little bit of a strange play there from the Esprit, trying to commit for a fight that close to the tier 1. I guess just didn't quite expect there to be that much of a backup there.
That game, Earthspirit's under a lot of pressure to make the plays and initiate. Slider still doesn't have Blink, so basically it's up to Earthspirit to put himself in these dangerous positions to initiate and set up fights for his team.
Kangaroo could be in trouble with the Shikuchi telekinesis. Have they got the damage to do it? Yes, they do. Kangaroo, he tried to turn around with a crush to hold them back.
Blink getting slowed down even more. That's the really key item for WG Unity as far as their mid-game goes, and they're not getting it.
It's also just going to be a question, of course, how much they can fight around Nana with his Bristle, how much they can utilize his pretty hard. He's incredibly hard to take down with Vanguard and Pipe of Insight.
He's unkillable.
Yeah,
that's not really a problem for DC. You look at his Bristle, like he's unkillable.
Use this somehow. How do you use this if you're Warriors game?
You can force towers, but that's where this morph build is really good, because if WG 5-man and force towers, you've got a morph build that threatens to split push better. Like the Lincoln's build, you're going to split push, but you're not really threatening buildings as fast. But a Dragonlance Yasha build, that can break buildings much quicker. So basically he's reacting to the fact there's a Bristle in the game. It's like, well, he's going to try and fight. They're going to try and 5-man. I'm going to try and threaten their buildings by going for a different build. So WGU, yeah, again, it's 5 men around the Bristle. They're hovering around top, but immediately we see the response at bottom from Rezo, and that's where Arjit, it's kind of his role to deal with this Morphling split push. He can't really kill the Morph by any means, but he can at least try and stop.
So they're trying to find Saxa, but he Shikuchi's up to the high ground, and he's well and truly duked them.
Bottom, Arjit and Rezo are fighting.
Well,
I'm going to kill any. I don't know that I say that, it's like a Weaver versus Morph. Who actually killed either? It's a no-win situation. But Weaver forces the Morph to TP home. That's big. It's really a win for the Weaver there, just because a small, very tiny win, because you stop the split push. You force Morph out of the lane, he slows down his farm, slows down his split push, and it sets you up to perhaps take a mid-tier 1 tower, because they are grouping up as 5 around mid. And the split push threat is being somewhat dealt with for now. I say that he's already back bottom, back top. They're gearing up to split push as soon as possible. And Nana's like, screw creeps, I'm just going to straight up take this 2-1.
They'll find the tower. Saxa was still again. We'll be able to refresh his Shikuchi. He's stolen. Moon. He's hanging around here. To reveal himself, of course. Might look to try and play around October. Jumping in onto Arfu. Arfu looking to roll away. Last hit there comes in. Riha got the TP out. No points in Bash yet. Build that he's gone for.
A bit unlucky with the Omni Slash bounces there. Only I would say it was like a maybe 50-50 chance whether or not he bounced back to the Earthspirit to kill him off there, and he did get the kill. This is looking really rough for WG just because they can't catch heroes. Without the Slider Blink, they lack that catch they need to punish the split push. Even when they get it, Morphling is not really a hero you can kill, it's just the Jug.
Hey, up top lane, Moon unable to actually find the stun there. He was looking to try and bring down Kangaroo with the Amplify and the Quill Sprays. Moon he's in a lot of trouble here. One more and he's going to be popping. Nana turns around that attempt of a kill onto the Slardar and shoves it right down Moon's throat. As he did not, he was trying to find that stun, he held onto it, he didn't feel confident in the angle as the Slardar with the sprint was just too slippery.
Slardar luckily survived. He died there, but again without his blink.
Oh yeah, he's so close as well at this stage.
Disastrous. And now they're going to try force it to the bottom. It's one of those things where getting aces mid lane.
Guarding onto Nova. Rue does get the stun. They kill this though, no, again. TP's out and back to safety.
It's so nice to play Jug in these games where there's nothing to cancel play through TP. Slardar back is so unreliable.
Bottom lane, Nana maybe being a little too confident here with his...
Pulled the Carapace.
And he's gone.
They couldn't really get anything out of the Aegis because it's on a Bristle, so it's like already, with or without the Bristle, having an Aegis, they're already going to ignore him, at least ignore the 5-man around the Bristle, and you give an Aegis to the Bristle for the 5-man, well, even more so. I mean, DC's ignoring you with or without it. They go for the Bristle there because it's 4v1, but when WG are 5-manning around Bristle, that's when DC split push the other 2 lanes, so it felt like WGU get no value out of the Aegis. It expired without anything happening off of it. They got a tier 1 mid, that was really it.
So making it go into Rezo, but of course now with the Manta style done, it's very hard for Arfu to get anything done against this man. Resolution just zips in, gets the tower as well on the way out.
Yep.
He's having an incredibly textbook game here. He's had 3-0-4. He's not been fighting, but it's not necessarily what he's needed to do. It's just the split push, the finding these towers, finding this farm, and it is looking like a very, very good place for DC to be in with this Morphling. So WG, they have this minus that they have this kind of team fight, but it's hard to utilize against the way that Rezo's playing.
Yeah, it's not a massive lead for DC in terms of gold numbers, but taking into consideration the draft and WGU looking to do better in the early to mid game, Bristle, a hero that's going to fall off naturally the longer the game goes. WG are in trouble.
We're looking for Saxa here, but he's with the stolen Shikuchi. He's just wasting their time. There's a lot of resources being used by WG to try and find this kill, but they're not getting it. As he just TPs straight out. Yep. And meanwhile, top lane.
Yeah. And Rezo's split pushing on 450 HP. That's not with all agi, that's missing HP. So they'll trade it for a tier 1 bottom, but realistically, every time there's these trades happening, DC are getting the better end of the exchanges.
Nana with his build, tried to transcend into some sort of punch as he is working on the Sanjin Yasha. It's going to be the next thing around the corner for him. But it's just the itemization from DC as well, getting scarier and scarier on top of the Manta style for people. Weeha, he's now got a Shadow Blade, an interesting pickup on the Jug. But I mean, I guess with this, it's just what he's going to look for those backliners to quickly jump down and at the start of the fights try and take down and control the Earth Spirit before they get a jump onto him. We'll see if WG can get this sort of a jump that they need, because they're moving down the mid lane. Misery there alongside Saxa, but again Saxa with the stolen Shikuchi proved to be incredibly elusive, but now a good crush from Kangaroo. Catches both out. They should be able to get both of these kills here, WG, and that exactly what they need. Plays like this, setting up for 2 tasty kills. Kangaroo
and you're going to at least get the tier 2 mid, because no split push threat yet at top or bottom. But as soon as you see those 2 kills happen, Rezo makes the move towards that top lane, recognizing that he needs to threaten the high ground at top of the tier 3 to help delay the push at mid. Try and deter a high ground attempt from WG, but WG usually seem to be ahead of the game. They are fast enough in this mid lane that they could theoretically force a high ground.
Yeah, they've got good pressure.
They push fairly slow without a Deso, but it's one of those things where you get so few opportunities to push without the threat of the split push, and that split push is coming too slow that you probably feel like you can go for this. Yeah,
and they need to as well. They jump immediately in onto Moon. Moon's going to be bombed.
He's got no buyback.
And this is the pace that they need, because obviously with the Shadow Plane into Silver Edge build that Weeha's going for, once that Silver Edge is out, Nana's game is sort of ruined. If you get the touch onto the Bristle, he's going to melt very, very quickly. As you said, WG getting that good kill, a lot of pressure onto the tier 3.
Morph's split push will slow down now that Slaughter's TP back, and I think the call is to full retreat here, but Wee's chasing with the Shadow Blade at back in mid.
With the Omni Slash jumping in the Blade Fury follow, Nana could be in trouble, finally dropped. He's not the only one that we was able to take down as well with that play. A good crush, potential turnaround with the Amplify out. Can they actually find anything in return? That's the question. No, they can't. Saxa with a quick fade bolt to the back of Slaughter, and indeed, Resolution. He is he's playing a solo game here, really.
Yeah, the Slaughter TP back to stop the whole split push, but then got recalled in. They thought Morph was out. It was probably the Slaughter saying like, okay, Morph isn't split pushing anymore. We're good. But then he stuck around.
And they can't get, he's got Manta. So he's fine.
We can chase him, but yeah, he's got too much HP.
There's no way they kill him. And
his illusions are almost killing Arthur as well. They won't, but it's kind of
dear. I mean, Resolution has had two great games here. And this game, certainly there's been more kind of positives for WG than game one had. But the overall image is very much that DC are on their way to victory here.
Yeah, DC will get themselves an Aegis now. They finished a Skadi on Morphling.
Oh my goodness, 24 minutes in.
Yep. It's true. That was a really like a signs of life from WG when they went for the high ground push, but it was a really good job capitalizing on the fact, okay, they got those 2 kills. You could see what they can make happen with the Slaughter Blink, but this Slaughter Blink came very late this game, and that's really been the biggest hindrance for WG Unity to execute their overall game plan. And I mean, it was such a great timing to find those kills because they were almost able to go high ground without the split push kicking in, but I mean, Resolution split push pushed faster than 5 WG heroes push.
And that's it done now for Weeha. He's got the Silver Edge. So Nana has to be so careful about taking that first touch in the fight, otherwise he's going to melt. Already moved. Trying to initiate Resolution with the follow-up burst, bringing down the Earth Spirit. Nana's in the center of it all as well. They are going to try and drain Rezo's mana, but it's not going to work, and there's Weeha, comes in, chops down the Bristle, immediate buyback from Nana.
It's a stolen amp damage too, that did a huge amount of physical onto Nana because of that.
Kangaroo jumps in with the crush, play with his life.
Too much. And yeah, this could all fall apart. We've got another Silver Edge.
Ooh, Nana has to be careful. He really doesn't want to take that touch with the blade at the Juggernaut. And the push is going to come in now from DC. And as we saw, if Resolution was able to take Rax on his own up top, the full 5-man push it's going to be even quicker. What can WG do to stop it?
Oh, that's a Silver Edge.
The Omni Slash as well. Supply Fisker spreading out the Omni Slash jumps. It looks like Nana will manage to survive through this. Keep the team alive. 10 seconds and the Slaughter will be back up. So WG with a good hold to start with. DC, they've got Weeha Resolution back on towards the tier 3. Roll in. Immediate stun. It goes into the Spike Carapace.
Oh, he did. He wasn't up. I don't know what he's doing. I thought he was rolling into ulti, but then I was like, oh no, he's just
rolling in. And Nana's down. That is a dieback on the Bristleback. It looks like DC should be on the verge of taking game 2, and indeed they do. 22 to 8, 26 minutes in. Again, another quick game in this series between DC and Warrior Gaming Unity, and it really just was that DC, they were the better team. It's as clear as day there really in that one, and WG Unity just. It wasn't quite there, and it's just an interesting group. The fact that this team, WG, they took down Wings, knocked them down, but then DC knocked down WG Unity with incredible power.
DC win their group without having to face Wings. They probably came into this group like...
But probably do all the research on Wings.
Yeah. They had LGD FY, which they're like, that's a tough series we could lose. And then they're thinking, even if we win that, we're going to verse Wings. Like, man, we got 2 tough matches, but they had a 2-0 very close win over FY, and then here they are with like WG Unity, and they're like, oh, we just won our group. We got first. Sweet. Didn't have to verse Wings. What a nice day at the office. And I think WG Unity matched up very well against Wings, but not against
it really
DC.
is, as you said, that whole thing of that they don't need to worry about meeting Wings in the first round. They do need to worry about Group B. Of course, that's the big worry. You come first in another group. Group B. Well, actually saying that, Group B is said to... Everyone thought it was the group of death, but already the earlier series this morning, they're very stompy. So it seems like already we are having established this split in between the skill of those in Group B.
Yeah, MVP don't look too scary
no,
yet.
MVP don't.
They always play better at the main event, though. So MVP is a team where it's
guys,
like,
can you have
give them
a
some
look?
time.
Give us an update. What's going on the mainstream?
NP won game 1.
Oh, so MVP are not
and
looking great today.
There's another Drow. So they had Drow in game 1, and it looks like
they got Venner. Oh,
Drow in game
boys
2.
and girls, do go over and check that out. There will be. What's the next series on this channel? It's going to be.
It's Group A as well. So who's
It will be Warrior Gaming Unity
against?
up against. No, sorry. It will be the losers match first. So it'll be
Wings
Wings
FY.
versus
China
LGD
versus
FY.
China.
Wings versus LGD FY will be the next series here, and then the winner of that will play against Warriors Gaming Unity. But yeah, on the mainstream at the moment, MP versus MVP, and indeed, MP with the lead at the moment, and the winner of that to go up against, of course, Newbie.
Yep, you're right.
In the final series of the day, so we're having a very smooth day over on the Group B. So do go check that out, of course. You'll find it all on Twitch. It's Dota Major or something or whatever. But indeed, that's